My English teacher, Ms. Zava, in my 11th grade year, she assigned me a project, a monologue, to write about how I see America. And that's what I wrote. I wrote Believe Me. And after I wrote Believe Me, I submitted it to Colophon, my literary arts magazine at my high school. It was published, it was accepted, and it was well liked. And then I ran for class president. This is just a little thing on the way.
Sure.
I ran for class president. I became class president, and we were putting on the senior talent show recently, and so I tried out Believe Me for the senior talent show, and I was told that I couldn't say it by my principal. I couldn't speak Believe Me in the 2015 talent show, 2016 senior talent show, and so. After that, I was told that I could go and speak with her about why I couldn't say this poem. And I went to talk to her, and she told me that it was offensive and anti-police. Well, the poem is about defying stereotypes and going on to succeed despite them, and really trying to do the best you can to have the best life that you can without really paying attention to stereotypes. There is a piece with there's a part of the poem where the police are mentioned, and that's only to further illustrate the reality that African Americans as well as other races face when confronted by the police, which is another obstacle that we must really overcome in order to get to where we want to get to. I don't think they really grasp the full meaning of the poem when they say they're anti-police, because really the poem is, like I said, about defying stereotypes, and that's only a small piece of the poem. It's not the whole general message. And so when people say I'm being anti-police, I just think that they don't want to criticize the police at all, and they can't even admit that like there are a few things wrong with what's going on with policing. Examples like Eric Garner, Tamir Rice. And so after that, I was very emotional. I remember going into that, after like halfway through that conversation, I could no longer make sentences because I was so upset, because I knew I could not say anything to my principal. And also she invited the school resource officer into the room to tell me why I couldn't say the poem. I knew there was nothing I could say to either of them in order to get my point across and to explain that I really feel like this needs to be heard. And so my voice felt diminished. And it was really ironic because I feel so strongly I want to change the reality that is in the poem, and I can't even talk about it. She said, "Oh, I'm getting offended on behalf of police officers. Let me call the school resource officer and have him see if why would I talk on his behalf when he's an actual police officer?" And she invited him in.
How did you feel when he came
in? I didn't think he was gonna say yes. I didn't think it was gonna change anything. I was like, I'll try it. And so I was very emotional for a few weeks. I told family members about it, and they said, "Oh, maybe you should write another poem and use different language." And then my mom thought more and more about it, because she said, "Oh, they probably weren't going to say yes to it anyway." But then when she thought about it, she thought, there's nothing wrong with it. And she went into the principal's office and talked to her, and the principal said basically the same things that she said to my mother, that she said to me, that it was offensive. She can't have me talking about the police and things like that. And so a few weeks later, I was approached by another young lady at my high school. She's a senior as well. Her name is Crystal Alexis, and she approached me and told me that she heard a little bit about what was going on, but she didn't know the full context. And I provided her the full context, and she was very up in arms. She wanted to make sure that I could say my piece. And so she started the petition for me, and I also wrote a note to Dallas Dance, Dr. Dallas Dance, our superintendent, and she put in the petition, and it got 2,000 signatures in 3 days. Yeah, 3 days.
So when did they change their mind?
They changed their mind. So the petition went up last Saturday, and they changed their minds on Monday. Ms. Demino came in. Ms. Demino invited me into her office with the assistant principal, and they told me that I could say my poem. Officer, I'm begging you to believe that never ever have I smoked weed. Please do not tell me that I need to leave. I need to stay in school and continue to read. Picture if you were me, where everyone believes that you have a baby by the time you reach the age of a teen, and the only question they ask is if you crip or bleed. But what if that's not the case? Up my sleeve, I think I have an ace that can answer the problems that all people face, no matter the skin color, no matter the race. And it doesn't involve mixing baking soda or shooting a brother just because somebody told you, or shooting a ball because that's how they coached you, or rapping like Chief Keef King Sosa. It's called education. No matter what you do, that should be the foundation. You won't need a welfare donation. You can live your life and even vacation. I now see some police. Some cause riots instead of keeping the peace. That's the difference between them and me. I see a few bad apples, not a whole tree. Some will cause my parents grief by killing me. Like Eric Garner, I cannot breathe. But I promise I will garner my responsibilities. I want to succeed. No, I have to succeed. My life will not end at 23. I will beat that expectancy and have children to carry my legacy. But officer, it's not my weed. Officer, it's not my weed. Thank you.